Well, good morning and welcome back to CityLine. We are on our second segment of our Pride edition because, of course, the whole month of July here in Tacoma is Pride. And with me, I have, if there was, let's say, a king of the Pride court, if we had to crown someone like we crowned in high school, which wouldn't have been great if there would have just been like an LGBTQ prom. Anyway, it would have been this guy. And I'm talking about the one, the only executive director for the Rainbow Center, Mr. Quincy Tyson. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great, Amanda. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and welcome to CityLine. You've not been on the comfy couch.
No, and this couch is very comfy.
This is why we call it the comfy couch.
I see why.
Yeah, because its predecessors were not comfy, but this is comfy.
Now
let's talk about these socks you have on. Can you put here it is. Can Cheryl get this? Oh, hold still 1 second. Let's see if they're going to change the. There it is. Gay. Very nice. Yes. You are well informed for your first time at CityLine. Very nice. So let's talk about this. What is your background that led you to say yes to being the executive director after our beloved Troy Christensen exited?
So my background is very diverse. People, when they find out what I did education-wise versus professionally, they're like, none of this is adding up.
Okay, hence the question. Yeah.
So I've been in transportation I was in transportation for like almost 19 years,
wow.
Of which 17 of them was in management, leading teams from as small as 4 to 5 drivers to an upward of over 100 drivers at a time. But my formal education is in criminal justice. I have a master's of science in criminal justice from University of Cincinnati. And so being an out gay man, having had the experience in management, which for a black man is hard to get in general.
You bet it is.
And then having my formal education in criminal justice, there's a lot of overlap between the two that have assisted me with taking on this role as the executive director for the Rainbow Center.
It's life experience that landed, heart, mind, soul experience.
It is. A lot of that is a lot of personal experience as a out gay black man, and then couple that with the learned experience I have in management and understanding thought process and learned behavior theories and stuff of that nature. Combine all that together.
Yes. And how lucky we are to have you in the throne. So let's talk about Tacoma Pride Festival. We're doing some different things this year. Obviously, this beautiful face is different. But before we were talking, you mentioned that we are having, within the Pride grounds downtown, we are having 2 booths. Tell us about that.
Yes, so this Pride is going to be one of the biggest ever. Rainbow Center will have their main booth when you first come in for your t-shirts, for information, and then
pins.
Yes, lapel pins.
The beautiful lapel pins that you can purchase.
Yes, they're online right now as well as in person. And then we have, the one thing I love about Tacoma is that it's so community oriented. Mm-hmm. And I put the call out there for more volunteers for this year for Pride.
Yeah.
And Tacoma answered.
Wow.
Tacoma has answered, and because of that, we actually have to have a separate volunteer booth, and I'm so happy for that. Our volunteer coordinator is going to be heading that up with our amazing team of volunteers for Pride. I am so grateful for everybody in the community who has offered to help. We're still getting emails every day asking, hey, I'd like to volunteer for Pride. I would love to volunteer with the center, which is so awesome.
Isn't
Amanda.
it though?
It is so great to see.
There's nothing better than that. I mean, in my opinion, nothing measures your success. One of the big things, there are many, but one of the big ones is the volunteer reaction from what your mission and vision is in the community. And you hit it out of the park. Boom. So we get 2 booths this year. And then let's talk about, every year I want to talk about this, but you beat me to the punch, which tells me you are exactly where you need to be. And that's allyship. Because I feel like every year as we go through Juneteenth, as we go through Pride, we become more and more aware of what our responsibility is in this world to be the change that we want to see. So allyship takes on a different meaning every year, according to what the year has been like, funding, politics, everything that you know that Ace said on the couch before you. So this year, how do we define allyship?
Well, I think the key thing with defining allyship is realizing that, yes, it might change from year to year, but for you and I, it's every year. It's every single day. And part of that is just showing up. We have, as part of our huge delegation of volunteers, we have a lot of allies who are willing to come into space and help put on this festival.
Yes.
Who come by the center on a daily basis just to check in on the staff at the Rainbow Center, which is fantastic, just to support in whatever capacity that's needed at that time. So being a true ally is being able to listen and support and be responsive to the need of individuals in your circle at any given time.
Yep.
And whether it's for our trans youth, whether it's for our transgender community, whether it's for the lesbians, gays, whatever is being impacted at that moment, being a true ally is important for anybody. And you and I can be true allies or allies for our trans youth. That is the biggest thing that's going on right now.
That's the biggest need right now.
It is.
So if I were to say to you, what do you see, what do you expect to see in the next year or year and a half come down, the pipe? Would it be protecting our trans and trans youth? That's our biggest thing on our plate right now as we move into this.
Absolutely, that as well as having these conversations with individuals about the importance of protecting our trans youth, but also protecting our entire community.
Yeah.
Our entire existence, because that's honestly what's under attack right now.
That is
absolutely
our existence,
our ability to have rights. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
To have rights to just exist as who we are.
That's right.
To be able to walk down the street, holding the hands of the one that we love, being able to just travel and just have access to affordable living.
Right.
And not be without the fear of being kicked out. To have access to medicine, those are basic things.
It's basic needs for people who are dealing with the right to be healthy.
Yes.
And it feels like to me, and I want to find out if you share this vision. This last year, I cannot believe the amount of legislation, the amount of bills, the amount of hate that has gone on in certain gatherings around children. It is. When did children become something that we could move around like that?
I was always raised that children were off limits.
They're sacred.
Yes, children were off limits, and to see political figures doing this, I really encourage people to take the time to recognize who's doing this.
Exactly.
Acknowledge who's doing this, so that way when it comes time to vote, you know what to do.
Thank you. When November comes along,
you know what to do.
That's right. Well, you should already, this is me. My list has been made. I'm just checking off the things I think you're doing that would be worthy of my vote or that I will not vote for.
And the thing that I think is really important, Amanda, is sitting here talking with you, is we are recognizing who's doing what.
Yes.
But the big part of it is constantly staying engaged, because if we have been constantly engaged for the past 10, 15 years, we wouldn't be here.
Right.
But it's okay that we're here now, as long as we recognize what's going on and take steps to unite and make that change stick.
Yes.
Constantly stay engaged.
That's it.
That's
that sustainability
yes,
that we talk about.
Yeah.
Because I often joke and talk about, everybody has something that they are working to get over. For me, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I often say every day my alcoholism is out there doing push-ups on me. And so I have to be aware. And we have to be aware as allies and members of this community what is happening in legislative halls.
Bingo.
Yeah, that we know that we have to keep our eye on, because if we take our eye off, we're going to wake up and we will be back where we were.
We are regressing, yeah.
Yeah, we will be regressing, and we will only have ourselves to blame, because the pressure never lets up, does it?
Exactly, yeah.
All right, last 2 minutes. Let's talk about The Rainbow Center is known for its gala.
Yes.
That gala is one of the biggest parties that happens every year in addition to Pride. So this will be your first gala with the keys to the Pride Mobile. What's the theme going to be?
This year, recognizing all that we've been through as a community, one of our pillars for the Rainbow Center is celebrating. So in spite of everything that we're going through, we're still going to let the good times roll, and we're going to take it back to Mardi Gras this year.
I love that.
Yeah, so laissez le bon temps rouler.
Which means?
Let the good times roll.
Let the good times roll.
It's going to be a great time, had by all. So look forward to more details on that.
Nothing says joy and love and community like let the good times roll, and especially when it comes from Mardi Gras, where they have had to overcome so much
Year after year.
that you look at that and go, if they can do it, we can do it.
And I'm from Louisiana,
I know
so
you
just
are.
just north of Lake Pontchartrain. So having seen my community down there be resilient, it reminds me of how resilient we have to be as the queer community.
Exactly.
So I want to encourage the community that, yeah, we're going to let the good times roll. We're going to keep pushing forward.
That's right. Okay, so last question. In a year's time, tell us, how can people help? Donations, service, what do you need from us?
All of the above.
Okay.
I really want to encourage people to not just think of donating money to the center. We do appreciate that. It does help with programming. It's greatly appreciated. But also stopping by to say kind words. Stopping by to volunteer is a big one. That is a undertapped resource that we do need. So volunteers is definitely
All right.
one that we need.
So step in for a
Yeah.
hug, step in for a cheer, and definitely we will see you at Pride. I can't
Absolutely.
say thank you enough for all that
I
you've
look
done
forward
for
to it.
us. And I'll come find you down there, all right?
Oh, I'm going to find you too.
All right, good. All right. When we come back, in the seat will be Matthew, who is the executive director of the Oasis Center. And that is something you're going to find out about in just a brief second. So don't go away. We'll be right back.